I can't.
I guarantee it.
Calm down. Calm down, brother.
Come to the fight. Come to the fight.
I could have stopped him. It's me. Because I ain't pick it up when I supposed to pick it up. I think I was boxing too much in the beginning. When I felt like he was slow, it was just already late down the line. I didn't want to get caught while
Crawford is taking things seriously, training relentlessly to become bigger, stronger, and more aggressive in preparation for his highly anticipated fight with Canelo Alvarez on September 13th. Anyone who thought Crawford would sit back and let Canelo dictate the build-up to their fight was sorely mistaken. Crawford made that clear when he made an unannounced appearance at the Canelo vs. William Skoglund press conference, nearly turning it into a full-blown spectacle. This wasn't just a random act of aggression.
Was there a little, you're not going to scare me, you're not going to, intimidate me. I see the smile on your face. What was going on in the ring? What was being said, man?
He was like, if I hit him with a little jab or whatever the case, oh, that ain't nothing. Or if he hit me, or if I block a shot, I was like, oh, too slow. Or, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Like, I'm like, it's okay.
Steve, what was he saying to the referee?
Oh, when I said to Steve?
No, what was he saying? He was
he was talking to the ref the whole time, too, yeah.
Oh, so, all right, so one time, when I hit him. Look, fool, hey, fool, this me and you, fool. This me and you, fool.
Tank.
This me and you, fool. Don't worry about them. They might get you. They gonna trick you off your spot.
It was a clear warning, a message. Crawford isn't just coming for Canelo. He's coming to make a statement. And he's not the only one sending warnings. Even coaches are speaking out, emphasizing that Crawford is taking this fight more seriously than anything in his career. Strength and conditioning coach Rob Aosta is already sounding the alarm, suggesting that Crawford might face a rude awakening. Aosta, along with many fans, believes Crawford is making a huge mistake by bulking up to 180 pounds purely through eating, instead of gradually adjusting his body to the new weight class. He ate his way up to 180. Understand that he didn't work out his way up to 180, Aosta said.
Yeah.
Come on, stop. Y'all know what's going on. Y'all know how I'm coming. Y'all know how I'm coming. So stop it.
Practically shaking his head at Crawford's approach. But if you think Crawford is worried, think again. The man is training like an absolute beast, sparring with bigger opponents and pushing himself to limits he didn't even know existed. He's convinced that his speed, power, and skill will be enough to overcome Canelo's size and experience at 168 pounds. That confidence is exactly what led him to crash Canelo's press conference in the first place. Crawford wanted to send a message, letting Canelo know that he's not here for a payday, he's here to take everything.
Truthfully speaking, it wasn't really hard to focus. I've been an underdog before, obviously not a huge underdog, but when you go back to the Jamel fight, world title fight, I was an underdog. When you go back to the Hector fight, I was an underdog. Very disrespectful underdog, honestly. So now when we get here to the Tank fight, it's just like, all right, here we go again. I feel like when my back is against the wall or against the ropes, it's like...
Of course, William Skoglund wasn't thrilled about the whole situation. The IBF super middleweight champion already feels disrespected by how fans and the media are treating his May 3rd fight against Canelo as if it's an afterthought. To him, all the talk about Canelo versus Crawford is an insult. It's very disrespectful, as I'm a world champion, Skoglund told Ring.
What was your thought on it?
I thought I was winning rounds too.
Yeah.
I wonder if they were giving... this is so, like the criteria for boxing, okay, if a guy is coming forward or if a guy is controlling the ring or whatever the case may be, using ring generalship to box or anything like that, was he outboxing me? Was he using the ring to set me up with certain shots or anything like that? No. I was pressing
everyone is overlooking him, assuming Canelo will win and move on to the mega fight with Crawford. And honestly, who can blame him for being pissed off? Even Turki Al-Sheikh, the man behind these massive Saudi Arabian boxing events, is already hyping up Canelo versus Crawford as if Skoglund doesn't even exist. But let's be real. Does Skoglund even stand a chance? Sure, he has the height, reach, and hunger, but Canelo is a different animal. And if Crawford is already trying to get under Canelo's skin, that tells you just how real this upcoming war is going to be. The thing is, Crawford isn't just dealing with Canelo inside the ring. He's also facing doubters outside of it. Some fans believe he's making a massive mistake by skipping the middleweight division entirely and jumping straight into a fight at 168. They argue that Crawford should have taken a fight at 160 first, maybe against someone like J.C. Aleem, Connolly to adjust to the power of bigger fighters. Instead, he's relying on sheer confidence and
ourselves in the fight, so I thought we was winning the early rounds based off that. But I said it all along, Tank ain't never been into a ring with a full package fighter like Lamont. And he was gonna have to think a little bit more than he think in the past. And yeah, we was right there. We want to see what his full arsenal is. We told him to bring his tool bag because we was bringing ours. So he had the opportunity to capitalize on some of the things we done, and we had to capitalize on his. But yeah, that was part of it.
Dominating lower weight classes. And let's not forget the elephant in the room. Canelo has taken punches from some of the hardest hitters in boxing. This is a man who's faced Gennady Golovkin multiple times, fought at light heavyweight, and absorbed shots from fighters much bigger than Crawford. What makes Crawford think he's going to walk in there and just take over? That's exactly why Crawford's actions at the press conference were so telling. That brawl wasn't just about hyping the fight. It was frustration, anger, and raw determination.
We established ourselves in the fight, so I thought we was winning the early rounds based off that. But I said it all along, Tank ain't never been into a ring with a full package fighter like Lamont. And he was gonna have to think a little bit more than he think in the past. And yeah, we was right there. We want to see what his full arsenal is. We told him to bring his tool bag because we was bringing ours. So he had the opportunity to capitalize on some of the things we done, but we had to capitalize on him.
And he knows people are doubting his ability to handle a fighter like Canelo. But instead of letting that shake his confidence, he's using it as fuel. Interview. And his team, everyone in Crawford's camp, believes he can shock the world. They're doing everything in their power to make sure he's in the best shape of his life. They know this isn't just another title fight. This is legacy defining. This is the fight that will either cement Crawford as one of the greatest of all time or prove that he bit off more than he could chew. Canelo Alvarez is making one thing crystal clear. He's not underestimating Terence Crawford. In fact, he's already picking apart Crawford's record, questioning whether Bud truly deserves his undefeated status. Canelo isn't just focused on their fight in September. He's already taking mental jabs, setting the tone for what's shaping up to be a heated showdown. One of the biggest talking
Sad to say, you know, that's how boxing works. I'm not, like, totally upset. I figured with a superstar, you won't get too much.
Biggest talking points is Crawford's win over Israel Madrimov. Canelo flat out disagrees with the judge's decision, stating that Crawford should have taken a loss that night. For me, I think he lost, Canelo said, doubling down on his belief that Madrimov did enough to win. At best, he sees it as a draw, but not a clear win for Crawford. Canelo isn't buying it, and it's not just him. Many fans don't see Crawford winning this fight either. Not just trash talk. It's a calculated move.
Like, it goes to when we were talking about pre-fight. He never been in the ring with a guy like me, with my demeanor, with my skill set, with my ability to punch with a guy. I don't even know if he's, because I know he's been in there with punchers that technically punch harder than me, or from what we saw.
You don't leave him alone. He
Exactly.
never been in with a guy who he hits and he leaves him alone.
Exactly.
Canelo is making sure Crawford knows that stepping up in weight doesn't mean he's automatically going to dominate. He understands the importance of weight classes. There's a reason fighters don't just jump divisions without serious consequences, Canelo added, reminding everyone of the dangers involved. Canelo's mindset heading into this fight is dangerous for Crawford. He's not treating this like a routine title defense. He's preparing as if he has something to prove. Canelo is already locked in. While Crawford has been focused on bulking up, Canelo has been sharpening his skills, making sure his timing...
Yeah, good. But as soon as I heard that 114, I was just like, damn, all right, it's over with. So, yeah, man, it's just crazy. I ain't gonna lie. It's okay.
Power and endurance are exactly where they need to be. But some pros still feel Canelo won't be up to the task. Some of Crawford's past opponents, Canelo isn't intimidated by the Bud hype. He's fought and beaten some of the best across multiple weight classes, and he's convinced that Crawford's skills won't be enough to overcome the power, experience, and ring IQ of an elite super middleweight. And let's talk about that. Power difference. Madrimov was able to make things rough for Crawford.
2 days before the fight?
Yeah. I ran water over it today, but I must ain't do it enough.
Can you describe what the feeling was like in the ring? And was it to get the towel out, to get the burn out of your eyes?
He's nowhere near as dangerous as Canelo. If Crawford struggled against a 154-pounder, what happens when he's dealing with Canelo's body shots, counters, and relentless pressure? That's exactly what Canelo wants to expose, and many believe this fight might be a bad idea for Crawford. What makes this fight even more interesting is how personal it's already becoming. Canelo has been in too many wars, faced too many doubters, and come out on top too many times to let Crawford shake him. If anything, it's only adding fuel to his fire. But here's the thing. Canelo isn't just...
This is my opinion.
Sure.
It was a great fight. It was a close fight. Depending on what they do with that decision of taking the knee, depending if the commission reverses the decision, or I think a draw was meant to be.
He's working. His camp is already in full swing, and he's approaching this fight with the same intensity he brought to his trilogy with Gennady Golovkin and his showdowns with fighters like Caleb Plant and Jermell Charlo. He knows that a win over Crawford doesn't just add another belt to his collection. It shuts down all the talk about whether Crawford is the pound-for-pound best. But even Caleb Plant himself is sure Crawford will stress out Canelo. That's the real fight here. Crawford wants to prove he's the greatest boxer of this era, but Canelo is standing in his way, reminding him that...
If you take a knee in the 90s or in 2000, you're taking a point off. That's the bottom line. You're taking a point off. I don't know what happened with the referee. Maybe he was a little starstruck. Maybe he was a little...
Greatness isn't just about skill. It's about surviving wars. And make no mistake,
I'm terrible. I am, but I'm ashamed of myself. I am so cynical, but this sport has made me cynical. I'm sorry. I don't see
Canelo is preparing for war. Canelo Alvarez has always been the kind of fighter who commands respect, but he's not handing any out to Terence Crawford. If there's one thing that drives Canelo, it's proving people wrong, and right now he's making it clear that he believes Crawford's hype is overblown.
Implement this referee. I don't. What are they going to do? I mean, it happens too often. It's happened too often. I don't know. We need a national commission. That's the only thing I can think of. But we're not.